Good morning. Thanks for being here. Disappointing loss. I mean, disappointed we lost. I'm disappointed for the players, but a couple things. I think looking at the game, we probably could have did better and needed to do better, starting with red zone offense. I think we've been actually good throughout the course of the year in that area. We just didn't excel the other day, and I thought it really cost us. We had a chance. Certainly, I think you look down, 4 times, I think, inside the 12, come away with 3 points and really give up 7. So we have actually a -4 when you look at it in 4 trips to the red zone. And then the next thing, too, that wasn't that we got hurt on the other day was third down defense. So I think if you look at those two of the areas, I certainly would have liked to have done better. There were two scenarios, or I guess sequences of the game, too, that I thought that really cost us. Number one, obviously, starting with it's pretty close. We were pretty close to actually getting in on the first down play. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but about 6 or 7 of our guys raised their hand. And you can't. I mean, it's close. So, so we think we score. And then the next play, we fumble it, and they would run it back. So that's tough. It's hard to overcome. That's a 14-point swing, really. Instead of 7-7, it's 14-0. And but give our kids a lot of credit. We battled back. And I think that's the 3rd or 4th time I was trying to remember my career it's happened, and I'm 0-4 in games that happened. It's hard to overcome, to give up basically 14 points. It sounds easy probably to you, but that's really demoralizing at that point. But I give our kids a lot of credit. We came back. The other sequence I thought kind of cost us and would like to have back is when Schroeder picked off the ball, and we had actually taken back the lead. If you remember at the time, we were up by 3. There was 3 minutes, I think, left in the half, and we went 3 and out. And that was something, when you go back and look at it, boy, we were so close on the third down play. Guy sticks out his hand and trips Marcus, or he's gone actually on the tunnel screen. Thought Cube, was one of the deals that Caleb called from the line. We checked to the screen, perfect call, perfect everything. We missed a block, and the guy comes and throws a hand in there and trips up Marcus. He's probably going to take it to the house if you see it on tape. There's really nobody left. So now we have to punt, and they take it down and score. So I thought that sequence of plays really hurt us because we're up 3. And really, best case scenario is that we at least go up in the half by 3, and we're getting the second half kickoff. Yet we go down in the half down by 4. So I'd like to have that back. But other than that, I have absolutely zero problems with anything we did or how we played. I thought our kids played hard. I thought we competed really well. We had close to 500 yards of offense. Had a really good goal line stand on defense. Held them to 10 points in the second half on defense, which if you told me that with the half, I would have took that, and I'd told you we were going to win the game. But, however, 3 trips inside the red zone the second half and come away with 3 points, we have to do better than that. But we certainly gave ourselves a chance. I thought our defense gave us a chance in the second half to win the game. So special teams-wise, we missed a couple kicks, but I thought we kicked it good again. I thought we covered it good again. And I thought we returned pretty good. What we basically look at, Palage and I do, is each week is what we net and are we gaining, and we actually gained on them in punt, and we actually gained on them in kickoff return as well. So, I have zero problems with the way we played. I thought our kids played hard. I thought we competed really well. I thought we overcame some adversity and gave us a chance. It just, just didn't happen. The way we would have liked it to happen, but South Al certainly had something to do with that. They have good players. They have talented defensive guys, and they have a good defense. And a lot of defenses, you can get them in between the 20s, but when you get in there, they buckle down a little bit. And they made a few plays, and I think that if you watch the game, I know most of you weren't there, but we missed a couple too in the red zone. Missed a throw or two, missed a pass that, wow. And it happens. That's football. But I don't doubt our kids because we're playing hard, and we're playing with great effort. It just didn't happen. But we certainly gave ourselves a chance. So, but anyway, we'll move on. Typical Sun Belt game. Competitive, tough, and they just made a play or two more than we did. Idaho. I've never been there, so watched enough film in 2 years. I've been here, the Kibbe Dome, and going there, but anyway, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think one of my takeaways from last year, probably as impressed as I was in a football team, was when Idaho came down here. I think they're very, very well coached, extremely well coached. I love the way their kids played. They were physical. They played with a lot of energy, and I thought they did a fantastic job coming here. As a matter of fact, after that, Coach Petrino and I talked multiple times and continue to talk in the offseason. I was so impressed with what his football team did and how they performed when they came down here. Linehan's back. I think anytime you have a guy that's been productive as he has, fourth-year starter, and I've only been here 2 years, but I know some of the Monroe people have questioned that, saying it's his fifth year to play, but it's actually his fourth. It seems like, it seems like to a lot of y'all, like Nick and a lot of you guys, he's been around a long time. But he's a really good football player. He makes the pars. He doesn't beat them, but he's faster than what I thought he was last year going into the game, and now I know this year watching him. I mean, because he made some plays with his feet, with his legs last year against us, which I wasn't necessarily anticipating that he would. But he's a good football player. Both the running backs, Duckworth's the leading ground gainer right now in the conference. Plus, he's also number 2, if I remember right, in all-purpose yards behind Marcus Green. He has 167 or 176 yards receiving. Plus, he's also their kickoff return guy. So he does a really nice job. And then the other kid that they're putting in there too, I have his name here, Isaiah Saunders or whatever, but he has 300+ yards as well rushing. So I've been impressed with that. They have the number 3 and 4 ranked receiver in our league right now. Sannon has 40 catches, and then Anwar, whatever, he has 31 catches. So they certainly have some productive guys on offense, all seniors. So they have a lot of seniors on the offense with their offensive skill guys. I think the biggest change this year on their offense is in their offensive line, where they only have one senior. They have some new guys up there, but everybody else that we're watching, I mean, you can turn off last year's tape and watch them playing on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they're 3rd in the league in total defense, 7th against the run, 2nd actually against the pass. Been really good on 3rd down. They also have 17 sacks, but really been impressed. Most teams, if you can just have one end that's productive as they have, but they have 2. And, I remember Coleman from last year, because I think he made first-team all-conference last year. I thought he was a really good player, 97. And then 22, who we understand now was actually hurt last year. But Hayeswood or whatever, between the 2 of them, they have 17 tackles for loss. So, they're good. I mean, anytime you can line up 2 defensive ends like that or that productive. The bell cow is Lashley, was last year and is again this year, number 33, the middle linebacker. Just a really, really good football player, a really good tackler. He's 2nd in the league in tackles. He's actually by far the 1st in the league in solo tackles. I was watching the beginning of the game the other day in the hotel on the SEC network before we came, and I don't have that stat, obviously, but the announcer said that he was actually leading the nation in solo tackles in FBS games going in, which 50 solo tackles is pretty good. That's predominantly, most of the time, that's a whole year for somebody. That's pretty good. I said, and that's not assists, that's solo tackles. So I think he's a really good player. So anyway, love their defense. I like the way they play. So far in the Sun Belt Conference, they've given up 23 to South Al, 21 to Lafayette, and 23 to App State. So pretty stingy on defense, in our league right now. So anyway, another tough challenge for us. We know that, another road game. And I think if you look at this football team, I said that against South Alabama and would say it again if we played South Alabama again. As I've said every week, and I'll say it again, we're good enough to compete with these teams. But we're also good enough to lose to them. So I think it's one of those games where I'd be really disappointed if we're not in it. I mean, we're not competing, whatever, and we're not, we don't have as good a shot to win the game as they do toward the end of the game. But, we got to go play good. There's no question about it. And, they've kind of had an up and down season, really, when you look at it. They had a few injuries at the beginning of the year, but they're starting to get guys back. And I think they, the game against App State was really impressive. And if you watch that, like I did, I wish I wouldn't have watched it. I'd have watched one of those other games, but they were actually beating App State 20-0 with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They absolutely stoned them for really all of 3 quarters. And give App State credit. They have that championship pedigree. They came back, got some stops, hit a couple passes, found a way to pull that thing out. But I tell you what, they were really impressive to watch them fly around for the better part, really, like I said, of 3 quarters and really dominate that football game and stuff. So, but injury-wise, it's I don't know. I don't even know why I even mentioned it on Monday morning because I got to look. Because as we go through the season, and so far I'm batting about 50%, I think, when I try to talk about it on Monday with you guys. I say I think this guy's got a chance, and he don't play, and I say this guy. So anyway, all I know is that we held J.J. Dallas out of the game the other day. Cause for his shoulder, so he did dress out. We were going to use him for emergency, but we played 2 true freshmen who I think are going to really be good football players. They got in there and they battled, and I'm really proud of them for what they did. I'm disappointed. Hopefully we can get Tyler Johnson back. That's 4 straight weeks that he's missed, and I think he can help us at defensive tackle. It's funny, the way we always look at it, the way I look at it, it's 1 defensive tackle, and then if you guys were at the game, you notice that in the first quarter, Jalen Veasley came out. So now that's 2, so now you're to the, and that's, hopefully we can get those guys back because I think Tyler was extremely productive at the beginning of the year. And, it's just high ankle sprains are hard to overcome. And, hopefully we can get him back because I think he'll help us out. So any questions?
I know it's Monday, but you can't really explain what on the injury front. But when you last saw Tyler Johnson, does he look like he's back in the right track?
Yeah, I think he's close. He dressed last week, and he actually dressed for the game. And we just made a determination by watching him Thursday. And, I don't know, always been reluctant to put a kid out and, that you really don't feel like can 100% defend himself. Especially it's more noticeable with a skill guy, but you put a lineman in there and, and stuff, and he's still not quite there. And, especially like an ankle or knee or something, and you don't really feel like, gosh, can he really defend himself? I mean, can he really get in there in the trenches and stuff? So, but he did do a lot more last week than he did the previous week, so we'll see.
You mentioned it. Y'all are good. You told me that before, too. Y'all are good enough to compete with those teams this week and beat them, but you're also good enough to lose, too. So at the same time, with the way this stretch is shut down in conference play, you won more than you lost still with these last 2. Just how small is the kind of the line for error in this conference?
I think it's pretty small, really. I mean, it's it's when you go back and look at it, though, and, again, I'm not trying to, say anybody was right or wrong. I'm just saying it's just the nature of what we do. But you go back and look at it. The Lafayette game was a close game. We obviously could have lost that game. Coastal Carolina was a close game. Texas State, we pulled away at the end. But, but you look at it, I mean, I get it as a coach. Hey, look, we're good enough but we also could have lost those games. So then you move forward. And Georgia State, we didn't make the plays they did. The other night, we competed well, just needed to make another play or 2 and didn't. But, to me, I said, I understand and look at it moving forward. And, you don't ever want to be, I don't know, cynical or act like you're negative. But, I mean, I can see that the line there, are we doing good? Yes, we're 3-0. Am I ready to start saying that we're going to be 7-0? Well, obviously not. I mean, look at the margin of victory and look at what happened in the games. And look, I know, but what I'm excited about for this program, really, and for these kids, is I feel like we go out there, we can compete. I mean, we're going in there and lined up, let's go. And there was some situations last year where, that 14 points in the first 4 minutes, well, that happened in Jonesboro, and then you look up and it's 42, and and then it just everything escalates. And happened in New Mexico, we throw pick 6. Well, we never recuperated. I didn't think we did. I didn't think we responded well, and we kind of had a little bit more of that, oh, here we go again attitude. But I was impressed. Like I said, I mean, as demoralizing as that is, I mean, that'll take a lot out of you. But our kids came right back, and we had a good kickoff return, took it down and scored. Of course, then they took it down. We have the goal line stand. I mean, our kids jumped right back in it. So I'm hoping we can, I want to win as much as anybody, obviously, but I think the next step for me for this program is when we line up, we're going to compete. And we have Memphis, Southern Miss, obviously 2 pretty good teams, whoever. I mean, let's go compete. Let's give ourselves, whatever, and we're doing it right now. The next step is let's make out every play that you have to win, which, that's something, like I said, I was impressed watching that too, because if you just sit there and watch the App State and Idaho game, there's no way App's going to win that game. They can't get a first down. I mean, they literally cannot whatever, and then all of a sudden, something clicks in there, and then, they make every play going down the stretch. But, and that's but I'm excited where we are right now, Adam, to be honest with you, that I want to win, but I'm excited that I feel like we can compete. I mean, we can get out there and we got a chance to win these games. And, the next step is we got to do a good job as coaches and players of, let's us put them in the position to make those key plays, and then let's make those key plays. And if we can, then I think we'll take another step forward.
I know the standard answer is one game at a time and just focusing on what you control and the moments you can control it. But at the same time, when you look at the schedule and see coming up, you got the two defending co-champions, you got Auburn, and possibly reschedule with Florida State. Is there a little concern about this season getting away from you if you go up to Moscow and lose?
No, I really haven't looked at it that way, to be honest with you. I haven't looked ahead or, looked at any of that. I've seen App a few times. I watched Arkansas State on TV the other night, because that was a Thursday practice deal. So I got home and DVR'd that and watched some of it. But other than that, I haven't looked at the, But no, now that you say that, we got to turn around and play Auburn and Florida State and them. Yeah, that'd be a pretty tough way to finish the year for anybody. But no, Adam stumped me. I'm sorry. I was trying to think about it.
We'll regroup and go from there.
No, the rushing offense is pretty good. Actually had a season high 307 yards on the ground. Against the second-ranked defense in the Sun Belt in South Alabama. What was working for you guys on the ground on Saturday? I
think just the fact that I thought we got the numbers there, and so anyway, looking back, Coach Cube and I were talking yesterday. We might have had some chances, probably to throw it in some other situations, whatever. But we kind of said if we could get the numbers the way we wanted, and what we end up doing is going 4 wide, because we went 4 wide receivers. They thus far this year, they always in every game they had a high safety, and I call him an SEC safety. He's about 20 yards deep back there, so. They always had that guy, and then they matched up 4-on-4. So we got him 6 in the box. We got him exactly how we wanted him, and just so the RPO stuff became run. And like I said, if you look at the film and you look back, a lot of the same things is exactly what we did against Texas State or against whoever. Which was it Texas State, the game we had all the throwing yards, and then whatever. But they ended up being throws, because that guy that was out, whatever, he ended up coming in, and then the ball went out. So a lot of it was the exact same plays. It just so happened that, the other night they chose to play us that way, and so we ran the ball. But we probably called, I would say, maybe not. Pretty close, probably, to be honest with you. If you look at it, pretty close. We probably called pretty close to the same number of runs and passes as we did in previous weeks. This just so happened that this was more of the numbers showed run, and we were having success doing it.
Against the Texas State core linebacker, not Texas State, Idaho core linebacker that they have, are you prepared to do the same thing as you did at Texas State and have the RPO be more pass than run?
You know what? I think it depends on. A lot depends on how they play us. And, we'll have to see and how the setup is. If you look at it, they really loaded it up against App, against the run. And I think, you go back and look at, the Lafayette game, they're pretty similar to setups with us. Lafayette had a little bit of balance, kind of did a little bit of both. So I think it really just all depends on what they do. And, what we're finding right now as an offense, which is a great thing, what we're finding now with our kickoff return team with Marcus back there is something is going to be different. So, we just have to adjust. And 100% of the time, South Alabama has a left-footed kicker, and he's kicked it to his right 100% of the time. Well, he came out against us, and he kicked it left the whole time. So, but, hey, we've already ran 2 back for touchdowns. So, what I've always found out is the better you are, the difference you see. If you're not very good, then this is what we're going to do. Well, we're not going to make any adjustments because we don't think you're very good, but if they think you're pretty good. So offensively, we've had a lot of success this year. I mean, in certain situations, we're averaging close to 500 yards a game offense, and somebody's going to do something different. And somebody's going to look at you and say, we're more worried about your wideouts because Marcus has been productive, RJ's been productive, Brian Williams has had great moments. I know Xavier came out of the game early the other day. He got hurt in the first quarter and never came back. But we put 4 guys out there. We're looking at this. Are we worried about number 6 running? Are we worried about the 2 running backs running? So people make decisions when they come in there, and we have to be able to adjust, I think, as we go. And, I thought Coach Cubic made a great adjustment the other day. They had a pretty good deal against 11 personnel. And at the beginning of the game, we ran a couple of our base 11 personnel. They had it schemed up really good. So Cube got out of it and went to 10. Because that extra guy that was the guy coming in there, well, now he's out. You can't run that in 10 personnel because he's got to get out and cover. So, we don't want to play against that. Congratulations. That's a good one. Y'all got us. Let's get out of that, and let's don't go back to that. But I think the better, and our guys are going to see that, and we're talking. I've told our offense that now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Get ready. Something's going to be a little different. Somebody's going to scheme us up now. Whereas, like I said, kickoff return, we're seeing something different all the time. Now that you don't run 2 back for touchdowns, and I think we're number 1 in the league in kickoff return right now. So people look at that and go, "Wow, what are they doing?" So, but. Fortunately for us, the other day, we still had a little success in kickoff return because we can go both ways. So when the kid lined up the ball in the opening kickoff and put the laces the other way, we just switched Marcus whatever and automatically switched the return to the other side. And, because we have the capabilities of doing that. We have guys on one side for a reason, but we also, can run it on the other side. And the first one, we got it to the 40. And then after that, then the ball started going everywhere. Wait a minute, maybe this one. But that's football, and it's fun. And I think it's fun to go into a game and see maybe what somebody's going to do a little bit different and what their thinking is. Who we need to stop. We need to stop the quarterback running. We need to stop the running backs. Are we more worried about the receivers? But, the key for us is to be good enough at it that somebody has to adjust. And hopefully we continue to do that.
Coach, defensively, I know sometimes the numbers, you look at the numbers and people just look at that and say, oh, there's some rough spots in defensively. At one point in the first half, they were put in a position 4 yards from the goal line. They scored after the turnover, but there's also a key possession defensively where they got the stop down the goal line.
Very
so
key.
They stopped them before the time. There was a timeout, then they stopped them again.
Yeah, very key.
Got the interception. There are some bright spots defensively. What are you seeing that you're taking some positives out of what the defense is doing?
I think in positives, I think that we're getting better. We moved some guys, and stuff, and I think we're getting better. So I'm excited about that. That I think that we had a lot less, bus, so to speak, than what we did the week before. But we just got to, I think guys that we have in there, I was talking to Coach Brown, the Watson Brown, did our color the other day, and I've known him for years. He's a great guy. And anyway, he did the color of the game the other day, and he was watching our Georgia State game. And he had done a game earlier this year, and he said, now, who's this guy? I didn't see that guy. Now, who's this guy? We have new guys back there. And he put it in the better words than I can. He said, Matt, what it looks like to me is you guys are making first and second game mistakes in the middle of the year. And it's a good point, because some of those guys weren't in there and stuff. So I think we have to continue to do is to put those guys in situations that they have confidence and, and what we've done. I mean, if you've watched us the last few weeks, we have shrunk it down to where there's just not a lot of their basic pressures. Basic, what I'm talking about, you can watch the film. Their basic is vanilla pressures as can be, and we're just trying to get them in situations where they have a little bit more confidence and they know what they're doing and stuff. But this is a defense that's built off of secondary. I mean, it's 4-2-5. I mean, it's built off of those safeties and being able to do whatever. And we've lost some guys and moved some guys and stuff. And it is what it is. It's not an excuse. It's just something that we got to continue to try to do that because we got good kids, we got good players. We just got to help them out.
Kind of sticking with the theme of special teams, when you look at what Marcus brings to it, not just with kickoff returns, but the way he's playing on offense too, and leading the league in all-purpose yards. Where's you see the biggest growth in him as a player from when you got here?
You know, he's always been talented, and you know, I think he's confidence. I think he just, you know, and to me, I mean, the biggest difference when I see him out on the field is just he's a very, very confident player now, and that I don't know if, again, going back to, you know, whether you saw the tape or not or whatever, but there was one in the I think it was the third quarter, the second quarter, where a kid got blocked and fell and he tripped over him, or he's gone again. But the run he made and the cut he made, I mean, he hit it full speed, and I think he looks like he's got a lot more confidence, I think, in what he's doing. But he's always been a good player. And as a matter of fact, Coach Jones was asking me before the game, now where did y'all recruit him? I said, we didn't. Coach Barry did. But he's actually from North Pontotoc, and because, you know, we always, that's one of the things in pregame, you know, we talk about players. Where'd that guy come from? And, you know, and Coach Jones was actually asking about Marcus. I think the other thing, too, that's interesting about Marcus, when you look at him, when he came by in pregame, Coach Jones made the reference that he's actually bigger than what you think he is. And he's 190 pounds, and, you know, he's breaking tackles, and everybody, I think, views him as this little scat guy. And although he may not be whatever from a height standpoint, you know, he can, when he gets it going, he's actually running the ball really more like a tailback, you know, when he really gets it going, and because of his weight and all that. And anyway, I think that's, people seem to be surprised when they ask how much he weighs. I guess, I don't know, maybe from the stands or the press box, I don't know, maybe he doesn't look as whatever, but he's put together pretty good. So he has the ability to hit that thing up in there. And some of the runs he's making here, I think, are very, very confident runs. And hopefully he can stay healthy. And that was the other problem last year. I mean, he was in and out, and, you know, played this game, didn't play the next game or whatever. But I also think, too, unfortunately for us, I mean, for Marquise, but I think the other thing that's kind of elevated Marcus or whatever has been the injury of Marquise McCray, who was kind of the primary kickoff returner, which now Marcus Green, and then they also rotated as the inside receiver. Now that Marquise has missed 3 or 4 straight games, I mean, Marcus is, you know, and I just told him, I mean, you got to go as long as you can go. Just, you know, don't look, you know, I always tell them wideouts too, you know, because they're notorious, not just him, everywhere for tapping out. And I always tell them, don't even look over here, you know, just keep looking straight ahead. Don't even look to the sideline. Ain't nobody, you know, you stay in there, we'll get you. Don't look over here. And but he's playing a lot of snaps is the only concern I got, you know, each week.
What are the chances we see Marquise this week?
Not good. Yeah, not good right now.
Hey, Coach, you know, one thing I noticed about Idaho's defense, they're third in the Sun Belt in sacks, and with Caleb being the runner that he is, what kind of adjustments do you see Evans having to make going into Saturday's game?
You know, we're not necessarily going to make adjustments. You know, we're going to have plan B and C depending on, you know, I don't know. We're still preliminary really on that because they're both of their defensive ends are outstanding rushers. And, you know, you watch them and what they're able to do, which Appalachian State was able to do last year, Arkansas State was able to do last year. A lot of us aren't, is they can pressure with just 4 guys. They don't have to blitz. And so that's a luxury that they have. And so, you know, we got to look at that and, you know, try to be able to block those guys if they're only going to rush 4 guys and be able to, you know, and get the ball down the field. Because in the games they've been successful defensively, they were able to pressure with just those 4 guys. And that's a heck of a luxury when you can do that. And like I said, Arkansas State last year was able just to rush 4 guys. And, you know, they blitz us 1 play, you know, and drop 7 guys. And App did a lot of the same thing. And when you can do that, that's a heck of an advantage. It's a heck of an advantage for those 7 guys back there covering too. You know, now you don't have to bring other guys, and then they got to lock up man. I mean, they can, you know, it allows you to be 3 over 2, 2 over 1 is really what you want to be in the secondary. You know, but you got to be able to pressure with those guys, and that's a luxury they have because of those 2 guys.
You kind of talked on some first, second game mistakes on defense. Do you see Linehan as being a quarterback that can kind of nitpick some tendencies in the game and then kind of exploit those?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's going to do that. And but, you know, like I said, you know, we'll have a good game plan. Our guys will be ready. And, you know, it's just when I made that reference, I mean, it was, if you go back to the Georgia State game, there was 1 or 2 drop coverages. I mean, where we just totally dropped a guy and stuff. And I think that's what would Coach Brown was talking about. We didn't do that last week. I mean, yeah, they completed balls, but we had guys on them, whether it was slants or whatever. And there was one play that we adjusted. They hit number 4 twice up the seam, which we didn't get a good reroute on him, didn't get a good collision on him. And so then they tried it 2 other times, and we actually played it well. But I think it's those types of things that, we didn't play it the first time, if that makes sense. They had to hit it once or twice, and then we adjusted and saw it, and then we, maybe, if a guy's played there for a whole year, maybe that's not the case. But, we just got to, I put it on us as coaches. We got to do a better job of giving them the confidence and putting them in the right positions to where they can just play.
Anything else for Coach?
Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.